Hi, in subject thermal engineering, today's lesson we are going to discuss about non-flow energy equation NFE and simple problems on steady flow energy equation and non-flow energy equation. The objectives of this lesson are on completion of this lesson you will be able to know non-flow energy equation, problems on steady flow energy equation, that is SFDE, and also problems on non-flow energy equation, that is NFE. These three things we are going to discuss about in this lesson. So before discussing about the non-flow energy equation, let me know once again, recall thermodynamic process. When a system changes its state from one state to another state, then the path of successive states through which the system has passed, known as thermodynamic process. And what are the types of thermodynamic process? Here you can see thermodynamic process are two types. Number one is flow process, and then number two is non-flow process. So in case of flow process may be classified as steady flow process once again, and non-steady flow process. Steady flow process. A steady flow process is one in which the rate of the mass flow of the fluid is same at any section in the system. The rate of mass flow of the fluid remains the same at any section during its flow from one place to another place. So that is the steady flow process, and it does not change at any, the parameters will not change at any time. That is the steady flow. That means mass flow rate can't change, and also flow parameters also can't change. So here in this steady flow process, we are going to have two equations. I told you already in the previous classes. One is the continuity equation, where the mass flow rate is constant, and the second is steady flow energy equation, in which the flow parameters remains the same at any time during its flow. Right? This is the steady flow process and non-flow process. That means there is no flow. And steady flow process will be applicable for open systems in which the mass as well as the energy crosses the boundary. And this non-flow process, see here you can see one of the example is, this is the example pressure cooker, or you can say electric cooker, whatever it is. Here in this case there is no flow of mass and no flow of energy also in this case. So here in this case non-flow process example is piston cylinder. Piston cylinder which is not having any, say we can say, walls, and if it is insulated, sorry, if it is not having any walls, there is no crossing of energy. In the previous case also, here in this case also, there is no mass flow, but there is a energy flow. And here in this case, if you are not having any walls, there is no mass flow, but there is an energy flow across the boundaries. That means after compression, the piston will move here and there. That means cylinder fitted with the movable piston. So here is the one is the another example. Here in this case, the energy transfer takes place, but no mass transfer takes place in case of a refrigerator. So here is also same, that is battery. Here in this house also there is a transfer of energy, but there is no transfer of mass. So all these becomes, that is pressure cooker, a refrigerator, and a cylinder piston, and this battery also, electric battery also will becomes into the non-flow process systems where only energy crosses the boundaries, but there is no mass flow rate, mass flow. That means there is no crossing of any mass into the or out of the system across the boundary. So next is, so non-flow process. Non-flow process occurring in closed system. That means a closed system can exchange energy in the form of heat and work with its environment or surroundings. If you take previously cooker, there is no mass transfer, only energy transaction takes place. And similarly, refrigerator also in the same way, that means fridge. And also if you take cylinder piston also, same thing will happen, only energy crosses the boundaries. And similarly, battery also, if you take, energy crosses the boundaries. So non-flow process only in case of closed system in the experiment. Closed system is a system in which only energy crosses the boundaries, where no crossing of any matter or mass of the system. Whereas the flow process will occur only in case of open system, whereas non-flow process will occur only in the closed system. Whereas the isolated system will be an universe, is the best example for isolated system, because there is no flow of energy into the universe, there is no flow of energy to the out of the universe. Similarly, there is no flow of mass or the matter into the universe, there is no flow of mass to the out of the system. That's why the universe is only the example for isolated system, whereas there are so many examples are there for open system as well as closed system. For closed system, non-flow process will are the examples takes place, whereas in case of open system will takes place for flow process. So no mass transfer across the system boundary. So this is the non-flow process. Non-flow process occurs only in case of closed system, and during which no mass transfer, only energy crosses the boundaries of the system. So work done during a non-flow process. Work done during a non-flow process. So here in this case, it is a non-flow process. Here in this case, there is only a crossing of energy, whereas no crossing of the mass. Suppose here it is the P1, V1, T1 are the pressure, temperature and volume at its initial condition. That means say suppose if it is like this, the piston is at this position. This will be the system in which the working substance is there. If it is moving to this stage to some extent, or to the atmosphere, that means initial pressure, and final pressure may be atmospheric pressure, atmospheric volume, and atmospheric temperature. And here in this case, work is done by the system on the piston, and it will move through some distance. But only the heat energy is converting into work here in this case. Consider a piston cylinder arrangement, that is closed system, in which the fluid at pressure P1 and volume V1 and temperature T1 expands reversibly to the environment state with parameters P0, that means atmospheric pressure and volume and atmospheric temperature. Let any section, the pressure P of the system is constant. If A is the cross-sectional area of the system, then the force of the system F is equal to pressure into cross-sectional area of the system. Pressure into cross-sectional area of the system PA. The force causes the piston to move through a distance of, let it be, dx. Thereby, the work done by the system, that is dou W is equal to force into distance. Force into distance moved by the piston. This is the force and this is the distance moved by the piston. Whereas already we are having F is equal to P into A, P dx, whereas A dx is nothing but the change in volume. So that is dV is equal to A dx, which is nothing but the change in volume. So finally, this will become change in, that is work done. That is work done is equal to pressure into change in volume. The work done for non-flow process from state 1 to state 2, W1 to 2 is equal to W, that is integral of, means we have taken only a small distance. If you take complete distance moved by the piston, then integral of 1 to 2, state 1 to state 2 into P dV. So this is the work done, and work done here, if it is the positive, it is work done by the system, while the work done on the system is the negative. Non-flow energy equation. When a system undergoes change of states, that means when a system undergoes a thermodynamic process, then both heat and work transfer takes place. The difference between the heat transfer and work transfer results in change in internal energy. That means suppose the work is entering into the system and some part of work is done by the system and some part of energy is stored within the system. That's why the heat transfer minus work transfer is equal to change in internal energy. That is, heat transfer minus work transfer is equal to change in internal energy. That is, heat transfer Q1 to 2 during the state change for a thermodynamic process, and minus W1 to 2 is equal to U2 minus U1 will be the change in internal energy. This is the non-flow energy equation. So Q1 to 2 minus W1 to 2 is equal to U2 minus U1, where U1 is equal to internal energy of the system at the beginning, at the initial stage, whereas U2 is the internal energy of the system at the end of the process, that is at the final stage. And Q1 to 2 is the net heat flow into the system, whereas W1 to 2 is nothing but the net work done by the system. Net work done by the system, right? This is the, if work is being done on the working substance, W is negative quantity, that means work done on the system. If the work is being performed by the working substance, that is work done by the system, then it is W is positive quantity. Similarly, if heat is being added to the working substance, then Q is the positive. If the heat is being removed from the working substance, then Q is a negative. That means work done by the system is the positive, work done on the system is the negative, heat supplied to the system is the positive, heat removed from the system is the negative. So this is all about non-flow energy equation. Simply you can remember that non-flow energy equation is nothing but Q122 minus W122 is equal to change in internal energy, that is U2 minus U1. Okay, right? Now let us go to the some of the problems, solved problems, worked out examples, worked examples. Number one, problem one. So here is the problem. In a piston cylinder, air expands from a volume of 0.003 meter cube at a constant pressure of 690 kilonewton per meter square. The amount of heat rejected through cylinder walls is 6 kilojoules. Determine the change of internal energy. So now the solution for this problem, P is equal to 690 kilonewton per meter square, V1 is equal to 0.003 meter cube, and V2 in the problem it is not represented. Please forgive me in this final volume, that means expanded from, the question must be like this. In a piston cylinder, air expands from a volume of 0.003 meter cube at a constant pressure of 690 kilonewton per meter square to a volume of 0.0024 meter cube. The question must be like this. The amount of heat rejected through the cylinder walls is 6 kilojoules. Determine the change of internal energy. This should be like this. So final volume is V2 is equal to 0.0024 meter cube. And heat rejection, that means heat is removed from the system or from working substance, that's why it should be negative. So Q122 is equal to minus 6 kilojoules, where negative sign due to heat rejection. Now work transfer can be calculated by, as it is the constant pressure process, W122 is equal to integral of 1 to 2 P dV, whereas P into V2 minus V1. So V2 is known for us, V1 is also known for us, P is also known for us. Then you can calculate 690 is the P, and the final volume is 0.024, whereas V1 is equal to 0.003 meter cube. Then you will get 14.49 kilojoules. Here it should be 0.024. Here this also is wrong. Now change in internal energy is nothing but the U2 minus U1 is equal to the change in internal energy Q122 minus W122, that is minus 6 minus 6 14.49. Then you will get minus 20.49 kilojoules. This is the negative sign indicates decrease in internal energy. Decrease in the internal energy. That means in order to do the work, whatever the energy present in the system is utilized to perform some amount of work. So that is the decrease due to performing the work, the internal energy will be decreased. Now problem 2, a tank containing air is stirred. A tank containing air is stirred by a paddle wheel. The work input into the tank is 1000 kilojoules, and heat transferred from the tank is 400 kilojoules. Calculate the change of internal energy. So here work input is given to you, that means work is done by the system, and whereas work heat transferred from the tank, that means work is rejected, sorry, heat is rejected That's why it should be negative. So the solution is heat rejection Q122 is equal to minus 400 kilojoules. That is negative sign is due to heat rejection. And then the work transfer is the minus 1000 kilojoules work. That is work is being done on the system. So change of internal energy is equal to, as per the non-flow energy equation, Q2 minus C1 is equal to Q122 minus W122. That is finally 600 kilojoules of internal energy is changed. So this is the problem for non-flow energy equation. And next is, once again, let us recall steady flow energy equation. Let us recall steady flow energy equation. Steady flow energy equation for unit mass is equal to, that is nothing but the Q122 minus W122 equal to M into H2 minus H1 plus V2 square minus V1 square by 2 plus G into Z2 minus Z1. That is, this is the heat transfer, this is the work transfer, this is the change in enthalpy. That means, and this is the kinetic energy, and this is change in kinetic energy. This is the potential energy. Change in potential energy, simply. And for this is particular energy equation for boiler is Q122 is equal to H2 minus H1. Whereas for static flow energy equation for turbine is W122 is equal to H1 minus H2. Whereas static flow energy equation for compressor is W122 equal to Q122 plus H2 minus H1. Whereas for static flow energy equation for condenser is nothing but the Q122 equal to H1 minus H2. And for static flow energy equation for nozzle is equal to V2 square minus V1 square by 2 equal to H1 minus H2. So these are some of the engineering systems in which we are going to use static flow energy equation. So now some of the problems on static flow energy equation. Here it is the problem. In a steady flow system, the working fluid flowing at 5 kg per second, this is the mass flow rate, enters the system with a velocity of 300 meters per second. That is initial velocity V1, and it has a specific enthalpy of 390 kilojoule per kg, that is small h1. The velocity enthalpy at exit are 150 meters per second and 289 kilojoule per kg respectively. That means this is the V2 and this H2 respectively. The fluid losses 5 kilojoules per kg heat as it passes through the system. There is a loss of heat, that is 5 kilojoule per kg. This is heat rejected, that means negative heat. Neglecting potential energy, that means G into Z2 minus Z1 will be 0. Determine the power of the system, stating whether it is from or to the system. If you are able to calculate the work done, then you can also calculate the power. The work done per second itself is the power of the system. If it is the negative, the work done is the negative, then it is the work done on the system. Right? If it is the positive, work done by the system. So rate of flow is m is equal to 5 kg per second. Initial velocity v1 is equal to 300 meters per second, and enthalpy at inlet h1 is equal to 390 kilojoule per kg. That is, if you convert this into only joules, then 390 into 10 to the power of 3 joule per kg. And similarly, outlet velocity v2 is equal to 150 meters per second. In enthalpy at outlet H2 is equal to 289 kilojoule per second, whereas this is 289 into 10 to the power of 3 joule per kg. And heat rejection, that is Q122, as it is the loss, that is minus 5 kilojoule per kg. And the power transferred you can calculate by using work done. And Z2 minus Z1 is equal to 0 because the potential energy, change in potential energy will be, that is potential energy will be negligible. So here in this case, from static flow energy equation on unit mass of substance, that is Q122 minus W122 is equal to M into H2 minus H1 plus V2 square minus V1 square by 2. After substitution, this is given for us, and this is we have to calculate. Mass is there for us, H2 is also there for us, H1 is also there, V2 is also there, V1 is also there. So that's why if you substitute all these values, you will get W122 is equal to 640.75 kilojoule per second, and 1 kilojoule per second is equal to 1 watt. That is kilojoule per second. Work is nothing but the power transfer. That means power is nothing but the rate of doing work. That means that the units for is either kilojoule per second or joule per second. If it is the joule per second, it is watts of power. As it is the kilojoule per second, it is simply kilowatts. That's why the power of the system, as it is the positive, the power is supplied to the system by the system. Power is supplied by the system. P is equal to 648.75 kilowatts of power is supplied by the system to the surroundings or to the environment, whatever it is. This is the one problem on steady flow energy equation. Now, problem number 4 is also on the same. The velocity and enthalpy of fluid at the inlet of a certain nozzle are 50 meters per second and 2,800 kilojoule per kg respectively. That means this is the inlet velocity of the nozzle and it is the inlet enthalpy of the nozzle. The enthalpy at the exit of the nozzle is 2600 kilojoule per kg. The nozzle is horizontal and insulated so that no heat transfer takes place from it. So find the velocity of the fluid at exit of the nozzle simply. That means we have to calculate V2. So inlet velocity is equal to V1 is equal to 50 meters per second. And enthalpy at inlet H1 is equal to 2,800 kilojoule per kg. That is 2800. That is 2,800 into 10 to the power of 3 joule per kg. Whereas outlet velocity we have to calculate ourselves. So then enthalpy at outlet H2 is equal to 2600 kilojoule per kg. That is nothing but the 2,600 into 10 to the power of 3 joule per kg. So nozzle is insulated. Q122 is equal to 0 because of nozzle is insulated, and also here in case of nozzle there is no work transfer takes place, as also the potential energy will be 0 in the case of nozzles, no work done. So from the steady flow energy equation on unit mass, Q122 minus W122 is equal to M into H2 minus H1 into V2 square minus V1 square by 2. For steady flow energy equation, this will be 0 and this will be also 0. Then V2 minus V1 square by 2 is equal to H1 minus H2 per unit mass of substance. So then it will be V2 square minus V1 square is equal to 2 H1 minus H2. After this, you will get the velocity at the outlet V2 is equal to under root of V1 square plus 2 H1 minus H2. Then after substitution, V1 is there for us, H1 is also there for us, H2 is also there for us. After substitution of these all these values, that is under root of 50 square, that is V1 is equal to 50 into 2 plus 2 into 2800 into 10 to the power of 3 minus 2600 into 10 to the power of 3, that finally you will get the outlet velocity or the exit velocity of the nozzle is equal to 634.4 meters per second is the answer for this problem. So right now, next problem, problem number 5. So it is the gas turbine problem. Let us take, in a gas turbine, the gases flow at the rate of 5 kg per second. The gas enters the turbine with a velocity of 120 meters per second and leaves with a velocity of 250 meters per second. The turbine is insulated if the enthalpy of the gas at inlet is 900 kilojoule per kg and the outlet is 600 kilojoule per kg. Now determine the capacity of the turbine. That means power of the turbine. You can simply have to determine the power of the turbine. So mass is given for us. Velocity is also inlet and outlet velocities are given, and the enthalpy is inlet and outlet also given. Then if you substitute the formula, you will get your answer. The rate of flow m is equal to 5 kg per second. So inlet velocity v1 is equal to 120 meters per second. Inlet enthalpy h1 is equal to 900 kilojoule per second kg, and that is nothing but the 900 into 10 to the power of 3 joule per kg. And outlet velocity v2 is equal to 250 meters per second. Enthalpy at outlet h2 is equal to 600 kilojoule per kg, that is 600 into 10 to the power of 3 joule per kg. And we have already studied flow energy equation of our unit mass of substance, that is Q122 minus W122 is equal to m into h2 minus h1 plus v2 square minus v1 square by 2. As the turbine is insulated, no heat transfer takes place. That's why Q122 will become 0. Whereas the turbine main function is to convert heat energy into mechanical work. So here you have to calculate this W122. This will become 0 because of insulation. M is there for us. H2 is also there for us. H1 is also there for us. V2 is there. And V1 is also there for us. That's why after substitution of all these values, you will get neglecting potential energy at the inlet and outlet. Then static flow energy equation becomes then W122 is equal to H2 minus H1 plus V1 V2 square minus V1 square by 2. After substitution, you will get W is equal to 900 into 10 to the power of 3 minus 600 into 10 to the power of 3 plus 120 square minus 250 square by 2. Then finally you will get 275.95 into 10 to the power of 3 joule per kg of work is done by the system, by the turbine. So the capacity of the turbine, then this work done is per kg, then you will get mass in mass flow rate into work done, then you will get the capacity of the turbine, that is 5 into 275.95 into 10 to the power of 3, then you will get 1379.75 into 10 to the power of 3 joule per second, that is nothing but the 1379.75 kilojoule per second, that is the power or the capacity of the turbine is nothing but P is equal to 1379.75 kilowatts for a gas turbine. And problem number 6. So here in this case, 1 kg of gas occupies a volume of 1 kg of gas occupies a volume of 0.8 meter cube in a cylinder sealed with a piston subjected to a constant pressure of 101.3 kilonewton per meter square. Heat is applied so that gas expands reversibly to double its volume. That means the initial volume will be 0.8 and to double out this final volume will become 1.6. So determine the work done. Also determine the quantity of heat supplied when the change in internal energy of the gas remains constant and increases by 100 kilojoules. So here in this case, mass of the gas is given for us 1 kg, and also initial volume is given for us, and the cylinder is sealed with a piston subjected to the pressure is constant, that is this one, and final volume is double of the initial volume, and heat is supplied to the system. Then determine the, let us see this problem solution. Pressure P1, P is equal to 101.3 kilonewton per meter square, and initial volume is equal to V1 is equal to 0.08 meter cube. The final volume, the double of this initial volume, V2 is equal to 2, V1 is meter cube, that is 1.6 meter cube. And work transfer during this process will take place integral of 1 to 2 PdV, that is constant pressure as it is P into V2 minus V1, that you will get work is equal to 81 kilojoules. After substitution of pressure and final volume and initial volume, you will get work W122 is equal to 81 kilojoules as the answer. And the bit A, when the change in internal energy is constant, that is U2 minus U1 becomes 0 because U2 is also equal to U1 because it is constant. Then simply from steady flow energy equation, that is W122 minus Q122 minus W122 equal to U2 minus U1. Then finally it will become Q122 is equal to W122, that is for A bit, which is heat work transfer itself is the heat transfer, that is Q122 is equal to 81 kilojoules. And the second bit B bit is the change in internal energy in this second bit is 100 kilojoules. So from steady flow non-flow energy equation, Q122 is equal to W122 plus U2 minus U1, that is 81 plus 100. Then finally we will get Q, that means heat supplied to the system is equal to 181 kilojoules. So work done by the system is 81 kilojoules, and for first A part question, A bit is heat transferred, heat supplied to the system is 81 kilojoules, and for when the internal energy is 100 kilojoules, the heat supplied to the system is 181 kilojoules. So this is the solution for this problem. And problem number 7, a thermodynamic system undergoes a cycle composed of a series of three processes for which it is the cycle. So Q1 is equal to 10 plus 10 kilojoules, Q2 is equal to plus 30 kilojoules, and Q3 is equal to minus kilojoules. That is heat reject. This is the heat supplied to the system, and this is the heat also supplied to the system, whereas it is the heat rejected from the system. And for the first process, change in internal energy will be 20 plus 20 kilojoules. For the third process, delta E is equal to minus 20 kilojoules. What is the work in the second process and the net work output of the cycle? So for heat, for each process, each thermodynamic process, we have to use non-flow energy equation, whereas for the total cycle, for a cyclic process, net heat transfer should be equal to the net work transfer. So this is the, actually we have used change in internal energy is equal to U2 delta U or U2 minus U1. Here in this case he has taken delta E as the change in internal energy. For the second process, if you take, so data given in this problem, Q1 is equal to 10 kilojoules, Q2 is equal to 30 kilojoules, and Q3 is equal to minus 5 kilojoules. Delta E1 is equal to plus 20 kilojoules. Delta E3 is equal to minus 20 kilojoules. Now you have to calculate for work done for first process, that means by using non-flow energy equation for thermodynamic process, W1 is equal to Q1 minus delta E1. That is, after substitution of Q1 and delta E1, you will get minus 10 kilojoules of work is done on the system. And similarly for third process, W3 is equal to Q3 minus delta 3. Delta E3 is equal to minus 5 plus minus into minus 20. Then you finally 15 kilojoules of work is done by the system during the third process. And for the second process, you have to take work done for a cyclic process. For a cyclic integral of net heat transfer should be equal to the cyclic integral of net work transfer. So Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 should be equal to the W1 plus W2 plus W3. Finally, W2 is equal to 30 kilojoules. Work is done by the system during the second process. So net work transfer is equal to sum of the transfers, that is W1 plus W2 plus W3, whereas initial work is negative work, that is work done on the system, and here in this case work is done by the system, and here is also work done by the system. Then finally minus 10 plus 30 plus 15, we will get plus 35 kilojoules of work is done on the system. So this is the one answer, and another answer is this one, right? So with this problem is completed. So let us have the summary of this lesson. We have completed, we have discussed about non-flow process, work done during non-flow process, and the non-flow energy equation also we completed, problems on static flow energy equation also we completed, and problems on non-flow energy equation also we have completed. So friends, let us see the quiz questions, some of the quiz questions from this discussion. In a non-flow process, the heat transfer occur, the work transfer occur, both heat and work transfer occur, none of the above. So during the non-flow process, energy transfer takes place in form of either heat or work into or out of the system. That's why C should be the answer in this question, right? So second quiz question, non-flow process occurs in open system, closed system, both open and closed system, and none of the above. As we have discussed in the starting of the lesson, the open system, in open system the steady flow process takes place, whereas only in case of closed system the non-flow process occurs. That's why C is the wrong answer, B is also wrong answer, whereas A is also wrong answer. Then B should be the answer, closed system. A closed thermodynamic system is one in which there is no energy or mass transfer across the boundary, and there is no mass transfer but energy transfer exists. There is no energy transfer but mass transfer exists. Both energy and mass transfer takes place across the boundary, but the mass transfer is controlled by the walls. So this will be the right answer, right? So B should be the right answer. So in a closed thermodynamic system, no mass transfer takes place, but energy transfer takes place. And question number 4, in a open thermodynamic system, mass content of the system under consideration remains same, and transfer of mass and or energy takes place, and there is only mass transfer even though there may not be any exchange of energy with the system environment. The system exchange energy with the surroundings in the form of heat energy only. So B should be the right answer for open thermodynamic system. So some of the assignments of this lesson: a closed system undergoes a process change in which 2 kilojoules of heat is supplied to the system, that is positive heat energy transfer. Find the change in internal energy under the following conditions. Number 1, 0.75 kilojoules of work is done by the system, that's why positive work, and 0.5 kilojoules of work is done on the system, that is the negative work. By using non-flow energy equation for this problem, we can solve this problem. That means this is the positive and this is also positive. So that's why change in internal energy is equal to 2.75 and 2 minus 0.75. That will give you 1.25 kilojoules of change in internal energy takes place. Similarly, as it is the negative, so 2 minus into minus 0.5, that's why 2.5 kilojoules of work is internal energy takes place. Next is assignment 2. A system executes a cyclic process during which there are heat transfers and work done as follows. What is the work done at the fourth point? What is the work done at the fourth point? Here at the point 1, 20 kilojoules of heat is supplied, positive, plus 20 kilojoules of heat is supplied, and 3 kilojoules of work is done by the system, this is also positive. And at point 2, 2 kilojoules of heat is rejected, negative work, minus 2 kilojoules, and 4 kilojoules of work is done by the system, this is the positive work. And at point 3, 10 kilojoules of heat is supplied, this is positive, 10 kilojoules plus 10 kilojoules, and 8 kilojoules of work is done by the system, is also positive. And at fourth point, 5 kilojoules of heat is supplied to the system. So here in this case, as per the cyclic process, for a cycle of the system, net heat transfer must be equal to the net work transfer. That's why the heat transfer at Q1 is given for us, Q2 is also given for us, and Q3 is also given for us, Q4 are also given for us. But whereas W1 is given for us, W2 is given for us, W3 is also given, only W4 is not there. That's why you can calculate by summing and equating. That means Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4 is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4. Then finally we'll get to W4. So this is the simple answer for this problem. So thank you friends for the patient hearing of this lesson. Thank you one and all.